We're having the wrong fight.
Days after Portland Public Schools and its teachers union reached a deal ending a near month-long strike, school board members say PPS can't afford the contract and need more state money. In the past legislative cycle, the state approved $10.2 billion for Oregon Public Schools over the next 2 years, the most ever given to schools. Though last year, the state's Quality Education Commission said schools needed almost $11.9 billion, almost $2 billion more than they received. Now, PPS board member Andrew Scott says the state should look at the kicker fund and give schools money instead of giving it back to citizens.
We are about to spend $5 billion back to Oregon taxpayers because of the kicker law. That funding would have been transformational for every school district in Oregon.
The kicker is a state program that refunds tax payments to Oregonians when tax revenues exceed projections by 2%. And the idea of getting rid of the kicker refund is unpopular among taxpayers.
It would be a very steep hill to climb to get rid of the kicker.
John Horvick, a pollster, says 2/3 of Oregonians support the kicker, and more are concerned about their own finances rather than education funding.
We would be asking voters to not only not get that money anymore, which they feel like that they need, but to give it to a government what they don't have a lot of confidence in.
Getting rid of the kicker would require a change in the Oregon Constitution, something Jim Moore, a director of political outreach at Pacific University, says politicians are unlikely to do.
And historically, people have looked at the kicker and they've tended to say for the past more than 40 years, we think it's a good thing.
Still, Governor Tina Kotek realizes something needs to change.
So we have to, I think, take a deep dive on how we're doing our school funding formula.
She plans to ask the state chief finance officer and Department of Education to weigh in on school needs. Still, Moore says a big change in funding is unlikely.
It's a tough sell, even if you're a popular politician.
Leaving Portland Public Schools likely forced to cut costs somewhere.
We also got a contract that we cannot afford. And we cannot afford it because the governor and legislature have failed to adequately fund education in Oregon.
Now, Kotek does say that Portland's problems are emblematic of a statewide issue because 1/3 of schools across the state are undergoing bargaining this year with their staff. Now, education funds are up for debate in the legislature in 2025, and Kotek makes sure to say that, changes do need to be made to accommodate some of these concerns that we're hearing now. For that kicker, Brittany, $2,100 are expected to go to the average Oregonian this year, so the biggest kicker ever in state history. Brittany?
All right, Thomas, thank you. And stay with KGW for the latest on the aftermath of the Portland teachers' strike. You can check out the fine print of the deal, too, and get updates anytime on KGW.com and streaming on KGW+.